All right, the saga continues in the Drake and Kendrick situation, and it's gotten bad. Now, we don't know if any of the latest developments have anything to do with this exact conflict, but the timing of this is rather odd. Drake's home, there was an incident. We're going to look at it in just a moment. And more or less, the incident has a lot of people speculating about the timing of this. Now, why is this important? Well, because Drake's bodyguard was assaulted, unfortunately. And people are pointing out the timing here is really sus because The Weeknd's bodyguard was recently in a similar situation just a week ago. So there's a lot of conflicting things. Let's look at this story that's developing, and then I'll reiterate some of my thoughts, and we'll unpack some of this together. All right, go ahead.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and we do have some breaking news that we want to get to. This is some aerial footage of the house from Drake. This is the rapper Drake right there. This is his house in Toronto. There was a that happened earlier outside.
So pause it. Look where the tape is. You see where the caution tape is? This is not me. This is not me trying to go like, I'm not trying to be that guy. This is just an honest observation. The caution tape is on his property. Okay. Now, I'm no expert, but I'm assuming that even if you live in this neighborhood, there has to be a gate around the property. You're not pulling up to his front door.
Yeah.
That's where this situation took place. Right?
Yeah. And I think there's a huge gate.
There has to be a massive gate. So this is his main residence. Obviously, he has places in Calabasas. He has places everywhere. But this is his main residence. Now, we don't even know if Drake was here for any of this. Okay? So if the caution tape is at the front door, how did they get into the gate? Right? People are like, oh, they didn't unload a clip from the street.
They had to get in.
So that would point to someone somehow got them in. How did they get in?
How did I know this?
How did I know this? How did I know this? So, okay, so then the theory goes, they were on their Mission Impossible and hopped that big old fence.
Bottom. That's not the
They scaled that big old fence in front of his house?
Yeah, with the bushes.
Come on, man.
It's a pretty big fence.
That's a massive fence.
That's at least like 20 feet.
Yeah, that's a big fence. I mean, listen, I don't mean to get political, but that's better than the fence separating America from Mexico right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's a serious...
There's no gaps in this
There's
fence.
no gaps in this fence. That's a big body fence. So something is off here. Just for the record, something is off. Something's not right.
Of the house from Drake. This is the rapper Drake right there. This is his house in Toronto. There was
That's the
a
rapper?
shooting that happened.
That's Drake outside pacing like Diddy?
Right
that
here.
can't be Drake.
That's Drake. That's how she says it.
This is his house in Toronto. There was a shooting that happened earlier outside Drake's Toronto home, and one person was injured in this, according to TMZ.
Why is he? Hold on. Drake! Why is Drake just walking around his home after a situation? Walking outside of his home in front of the car? That's just not a good look.
It's also like boring. Like, look at how boring that parking lot is. You got so much cooler stuff inside the house.
That couldn't have been Drake. That could not have been Drake.
I think it's Drake because he got the big body clothes on. You can tell it's affecting his walk.
Toronto, there was a shooting that happened earlier outside
very, like, big body
Drake's
clothes.
Toronto home, and one
Oversized
person
clothes vibe.
was injured in this, according to TMZ sources.
That's not him. That can't be him. I don't believe it. I don't believe that's him. I think she's lying. I think she's Team Kendrick.
Person is a member.
Someone said he's in LA right now, so that's definitely
of
not
Drake's security team. Now, police have yet to say if they believe the is related to the Kendrick Lamar feud.
Oh my
Drake
gosh.
and Kendrick Lamar have been feuding for quite some time, releasing diss tracks against one another. But again,
Drake and
No. We are not going to brush over the fact
that the police
that this is a real situation now, and the news is speculating if this is over a rap beef. We're not going to brush over that. That is crazy. You're implicating another artist on the other side of the world, on the other side of the continent, saying that is this... I remember, I'm going to date myself here. I remember when the Tupac situation happened, and they were not saying this sort of stuff. When Tupac was killed in Vegas, they were not speculating that it had anything to do with Biggie or Puffy. They were not saying this sort of stuff on them. Even when America's Most Wanted, a TV show, did a whole special on the Tupac situation, trying to get information. They did not acknowledge anything to do with the East Coast, West Coast situation involved in this. Like that was not a speculating theory.
Why?
Because it was just so crazy and over the top that like another rapper could have another rapper touch like that. They just thought it was over street politics, which it was, and come to find out later, allegedly, Diddy could have potentially had something to do with that based on the person that was involved in that situation. Right. So that's crazy that she is just, I mean, because this is serious stuff. Like you're implicating another rapper? That's wild. I can't believe they said this on the news. Go ahead.
Police have revealed the victim suffered a gun wound to the upper chest, and it does appear to have been a drive-by attack. Also, there has been impact across the Atlantic. In London, someone reportedly vandalizing Drake's store, spray painting, quote, "They
now that's
not like
unrelated
us" on the store's front window.
That's unrelated. This was not no calculated. Listen, I'm no fan of how either of these guys handled themselves in this situation, but this was not calculated by Kendrick to have the store vandalized. And like, stop it. I don't know if that's what she's saying. Stop it. That's foolishness. That's not what happened here.
I think what she might be saying, though, is
in light of this feud,
fans might be getting involved. Like, because of the feud, there's rise tensions, not necessarily that Kendrick is responsible.
Speedy in track drop, quote, "not like us." And just a short time ago, we were hearing from Canadian authorities as they shared the very latest in this shooting, and I do want to play that for you right now.
Is she playing his? Oh my gosh! I was like, I thought,
and we're gonna
no. I thought she was gonna say, and now we're gonna play the "Not Like Us" song. Oh my! I was gonna be, whoa! What is happening?
She's like, we made a lyric video for you.
Oh my gosh! Go ahead.
And I'm one of the media relations officers for the Toronto Police Service. Speaking today is Inspector Paul Krawchuk of our Integrated Gun and Gang Task Force, which investigates all shootings and firearm discharges within the city of Toronto.
Police media officer. Wow.
That's what that communications degree is getting used for.
I'm Inspector Paul Krawchuk of the Integrated Gun and Gang Task Force, and I'm pleased to be here today. I know there's a lot of interest in this incident, and I hope you can also appreciate that information is very limited at this time, so I only have so much. What I do know, I will advise you of, and I will take a few questions at the end.
Question one, did Kendrick Lamar have anything? This media is crazy, bro. Go ahead.
Police were called to at the residence behind me here. When officers arrived, they located a male who was suffering from an apparent gun wound. That male was taken to hospital in serious condition. That person was working, apparently, as a security guard at the residence. He was standing outside of the gates in front of the residence when the shooting occurred.
Okay. So going back full circle, he was staying outside of the gate. So he was standing on the street. So why is his house taped up? Why is the caution tape all in front of his front door? This is very confusing.
There might be, I'm just guessing. I'm guessing the guy wasn't super accurate. And so there's some bullets that went past, and if they made it onto the property, they fenced it off to try to find the bullets.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. So that would make more sense because with the 2009 issue of Drake getting allegedly robbed in front of that restaurant, he said he got robbed. Apparently, he told on those guys. Then he called those guys clowns in the latest release that he put out. So they're saying that this is local Toronto stuff. This is which likely it is. I don't think this has anything to do with Kendrick. But go ahead.
We have individuals who obviously performed the who were seen in a vehicle. I do not have a description of the vehicle.
So there's caution tape behind them too. So there's caution tape.
Oh yeah.
You see there?
Yep, from the street.
So from the street, there's caution tape. So these guys pulled up and just shot at the house. Like, this is crazy. And listen, I know you guys like Toronto got gangs. Toronto got gangs. There's a rapper from Toronto named Top 5 that went on a run after multiple deletions of people. And he was like calling into academics' stream. This guy was out of control. He's in jail now. Toronto is no joke. Like there's pockets everywhere of dangerous places. So don't think like Toronto doesn't got some crazy stuff happening. Go ahead.
At this time, again, it's very early on in the investigation. I cannot speak to a motive at this time because it's so early, but as we get information, we will share it with you. Anyone with information is asked to call 416-808-2510 or Crime Stoppers.
Sound like the daggone Logic song for not deleting yourself. Y'all gotta simplify that.
Yeah. Am I gonna hit international fees if I want to call in and tell him Kendrick did it?
Y'all gotta simplify that. That's a long number.
And it's not even like a 888-666. Oops, not that one.
Go ahead.
To see an increased presence in this neighborhood, for the next little while, but it's no different than any other shooting or firearm discharge.
Pause it
We'll
real
have
quick. Jacoby, I think the theory, Jacoby said he contradicted himself and called the people who gave the info to Kendrick clowns. So I think there's two different infos that that Drake is referring to. There's the info of an 11-year-old daughter that seems Drake completely ate up, which was fabricated. And then there's the info of Drake getting robbed and quote unquote snitching on these guys. And he's saying the guys who gave Kendrick that info are clowns. Two different sets of info, two different things. I think Drake rushed that last response. And so that's why it's very convoluted. And then the second half of it is, I'm not a pedophile. Stop calling me a pedophile. I'm not a pedophile. Which, by the way, I'm hearing crazy stuff about that and where that may be going.
I'll now take a few questions.
you know they got security footage of this.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
I cannot confirm if Drake was home at the time the incident occurred, but I can tell you that we are in contact with his team and they are cooperating.
To what extent is the rat beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar part of the investigation focus?
So I am aware of what you're talking about.
Stop the freaking. That is irresponsible journalism. I don't care what people are thinking. I don't care what people are talking about. You cannot do that.
Why not?
You cannot speculate that this has anything to do with Kendrick.
Why?
And I don't think any of these guys are noble, moral, upright citizens. I think the way they've handled this has completely gone into a place that's not okay. This is not okay as a journalist. You cannot speculate stuff like that and infuse a rapper from the other side of the continent and ask in an investigation. This is not I don't think this is okay. And again, I'm not a fan of either of these guys. I don't think that's okay.
You think that's okay?
No, it is not okay. No, is that because now you're bringing serious to even have people thinking this is instigating. This is what happened in the 90s. This is the East Coast, West Coast stuff. We're gonna instigate stuff and we're gonna say that this happened, and so you're gonna take a situation that's about songs and really nasty stuff being said about songs, and now you're amplifying it, and you're saying because this is what it's gonna do. There's some crazy Drake stan in California that probably has the location.
And he's like,
and he's having a hard time, and life is hard, and Drake gives him solace, and he could potentially go and approach, and this could be the battery that's thrown in his back and is being validated by the media. Like this is not cool. This is not okay. This is real irresponsible, sloppy, nasty journalism that could throw a battery in some guy that's on the brink already, and he has a Drake tattoo on the back of his head. You know what I'm saying? And like he snaps and goes and tries to get someone involved that's close to Kendrick. Like that's irresponsible.
I am aware of what you're talking about, but it is so early in the investigation that we don't have a motive at this time, and so I cannot comment further on that.
While the motive may not be confirmed, if that is something that you're looking at, knowing that this beef crosses borders into the U.S., is there anything being done in the investigation to maybe prevent the potential suspect from leaving Canada?
So this is no different than any other investigation. Okay, like. It's maybe more high profile because there's more people here, but we treat it like any other incident. So we'll be using all our resources. Our teams will be doing as much as they can to investigate this, but it'll be no different than any other investigation at this time.
This is awful.
It's not nothing.
This is awful. This is terrible. Wow.
Has he not been able to give you a suspect description, and how is there no video yet of the car?
How is there no video
So
yet?
I can tell you that all I'm going to say about the victim is that he's still in the hospital in serious condition.
This is obviously a very well-to-do neighborhood. There's likely a lot of video around. Have you guys begun your canvassing? Do you expect to get a good amount of video involved with this?
I would be surprised if we didn't. I can say that we've already collected some video evidence which captures the incident.
Whoa! They got video. That's getting leaked.
That's
getting leaked immediately. That's going out.
Yeah.
Wow.
You said you have video capturing the incident?
Yes.
The actual shooting?
Yes.
And you can't give us a description of the vehicle?
Nope, not at this time.
Because you don't want to release it?
No,
Because they know who did it. They know who did it. That's why they know exactly what happened and what's going on. That's exactly why they're not.
Reporters are acting like they're so surprised by it. It's like you guys want to write an article and they want to catch a potential killer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, and you saw a video and you can't even tell us. It's like, don't you know if you were watching, if she was sitting down at home with her boo thing, and she's watching a killing people documentary. That's what I like to call them, the true crime documentaries. Let's watch killing people documentaries. She's gonna be like, don't tell the reporters anything. You're gonna blow it. But then when she's actually involved, she's like, wait, why can't we know?
Yeah. Yeah, this is ugly. Like, this is ugly just from the timing standpoint. This is ugly because there's a situation with the other manager and then Drake throwing shots. This is ugly because of the situation with the robbery. This is ugly because of this is all a big mess. This is all a big mess. And the media is not helping it. Play some more.
Okay.
We're dealing with video quality issues, correct? So we, as we have information and we're able to analyze video better, then we'll be able to provide more information.
Plot twist of the century. Okay, now I've been consistent on this situation. I from day one said that this is neither of these guys have the moral upper hand, in my opinion.
Yep.
I said they're both scumbags. People were mad at me for saying that. They're both scumbags. You got allegedly a pedo versus allegedly a woman beater. Okay, now we're going to get into what's worse. Dating young girls or beating your wife who you've been with. This is a stupid conversation. This is a dumb conversation to be having on terms of like what's what. You got two grown men pushing 40. Drake's a year younger than me. So Drake's 37, 38. Kendrick's like 36. Writing angry poems about each other and saying awful things about each other on some, I'm trying to get you Me Too'd. Both of them are trying to get the other one Me Too'd.
Yeah.
This has gone way beyond the art of rap. This has gone way beyond anything of artistic value or this is spilled over into some straight, just complete craziness. But there are rumors murmuring that how this may end may be the least expected way any rap situation is in. Poetic Flacco, on his video about this last night, can we pull it up real quick?
Yep.
Poetic Flacco is friends with DJ Academics. DJ Academics, of course, is friends with Drake. Poetic Flacco is clearly, unapologetically Team Drake. I think everybody would acknowledge that in terms of this whole situation, Drake's down bad right now, okay? Because it's a lot harder to prove you're not a pedo with all the stuff that's floating. And then the whole half of that situation is really bad. Okay. They're saying Drake still has a song. Listen to what he predicts, though.
This situation. Because even in the Hard Part 6, Drake told Kendrick, stop spending your money on bots and views. You're going to need it. Hinting towards he's probably going to sue Kendrick Lamar if he don't stop calling him a pedo or lying about it. Rick Ross, though, will double down on the pedo allegations and make several other videos essentially accusing Drake of just that. Now, these dudes are all rich, so I'm assuming they don't really fear a lawsuit. But to go that hard with accusations or allegations in this era where lawsuits are a thing, I'm shocked. Maybe because they're hedging their bet on this being hip-hop, and if you sue somebody over a diss track, you automatically lost.
That's crazy. If this thing ends with a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit,
that's very
it's very Drake.
It's very,
and he went on to say, because Drake is half, you know what? Then it's not unfathomable to see it end that way. Yeah, I saw the Abba and Preach video. Listen, I'm not here to defend either of these guys. I think I've remained consistent. I don't know what you want me to say. They're both scumbags.
Yep.
Okay, they're both scumbags. But if Drake's response to this is a lawsuit, a defamation lawsuit, that's crazy.
That's wild.
Because now the burden of proof becomes on Kendrick to prove the allegations that he is a pedo, and if there isn't no proof, and you're saying that he is a pedo on a hit record, what are the damages of that?
Yeah, do you lose your deals? Who's you got deals with?
I mean, it's not about deals. Like, how much can you sue somebody for to do that, right? It's pretty crazy if that's where this is going. Like, if that's how this thing ends, that's pretty crazy. Why do you think Kendrick is a scumbag? I've repeatedly, I shared a previous video. I'm not going to rehash all of it. Number one is that I think Kendrick, maybe you disagree, has personified himself as enlightened, as socially conscious, as a good guy. His whole angle was, I'm a better father than you, I'm a better husband than you. And then in the process of this, it allegedly comes out that he's potentially beating women, multiple situations. 2014, there was a situation that he brushed off on the Breakfast Club of a situation in Vegas that DJ Wu Kid threw a show of. Then you have the allegations of his own wife. Then you have the fact that she doesn't follow him and that, right? So again, who's worse? Women. So one, you have somebody positioning themselves as an angel of light and trying to take the morally superior angle. And then two is a scumbag because of the Eckhart Tolle and what he's actually preaching on not just Damn with the Hebrew Israelite stuff, but on the Mr. Morale album and the New Age spirituality. You're one with the universe. You are God. The universe is God. You're one with God. You are God.
Yeah.
That is the undergirding of what Kendrick is pushing. So you have one person positioning themselves as a transparent, vulnerable man who's been womanizing and living the same lifestyle as Future.
Yeah.
And has co-signed Future and has co-signed the Poison. And you have another man that is Poison and has been telling you he's Poison and has been fairly transparent about it. Both of these guys are scumbags. I wouldn't allow either of these guys around all my family like that. And we're all scumbags outside of Jesus, by the way. So that's not like, I'm not trying to say I'm better. I'm saying outside of Christ, everyone's a scumbag. Everyone is a mess. We've been talking a lot about syncretism, right? Christians having syncretism. So you have two opposing worldviews that are connected, but they're in contradiction, right? Yeah. So you got Christians that want to be LGBT affirming, right? That's syncretism, right? And I think the same thing happened here. There's syncretism here. How is there syncretism here? You have a bunch of people that stood next to Drake when it suited them and it benefited them, and then flipped and said that he is a colonizer, yet they all benefited him. Yeah, it all benefited them when they were standing next to him, right? Drake had a #1 independent hit record in 2009, and Kendrick stood there and benefited from him. So did Rick Ross. So did Future. So did the Migos. So did everybody. Now all of a sudden he's the bad guy. But you guys knew all along. You guys knew he was on the grassy. You knew he wasn't a street guy. You knew he wasn't from the culture. You knew he grew up with the Jewish mom in Canada. You knew all these things, yet you stood there when it benefited you. 2, you are saying he's such an evil guy. He's such an evil person. He's such an evil person. He's such a bad guy. I'm a better human than him. I'm a better father than him. All along, you're also stamping and co-signing Future. Kendrick Lamar is. How did this whole thing start? Kendrick was on a record with who? With Future. You think Future is any different than Drake in terms of some of this stuff? So you got Future who repeatedly being co-signed and platformed by Kendrick. Then you can get into the whole, I'll pull my music off of Spotify if you pull R. Kelly and XXX. I mean, do we got to talk about what R. Kelly and XXX were involved in? So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not, in terms of what's worse, grooming young girls when they're 16, 17 to allegedly be with them at 18, 19, or beating women. That's a moral conversation you really want to have? That's where we are now. That's what I mean by syncretism in the culture. It's too confusing. There's too many double standards. There's too much hypocrisy. And both of these guys, let me be clear, both of these guys are spewing utter evil against each other. They are saying things that will not age well. They are saying things that they will regret. They are saying things that when their kids dig these things up, when they're teenagers and when they're in their 20s, they're going to be very ashamed of what he went through, of what they've said. That's what I'm saying. If you think that the allegations are worse here, worse there, it's all bad. It's all bad. Now, Kendrick is he has Drake down really bad right now. Because how do you respond to how do you respond to there's no way to respond to it. You don't respond to it. You can say, why didn't you respond to it? You respond to it and you sound like an idiot responding to it. Yeah. There's no winning, there's no coming back from it. Right? There's no winning, there's no coming back from it. And so I think it's a massive L. The R. Kelly thing was about being consistent with white and black artists. How many white artists have similar things exposed about them, get their music put up. Sure, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is that Kendrick championed XXX when XXX was alive, and everybody knew what XXX had done. That's another way to look at it. So again, this whole idea, if Drake is Epstein level, Diddy level, running trafficking ring, awful, terrible. But if that's not true, and you're fabricating this sort of stuff, I don't know, man. Christians caping for Kendrick is asinine and backwards. That's what I'm getting at. If we're talking from a secular standpoint, like straight, like remove God completely from the equation. I can't detangle my faith from rap. I'm sorry. I can't compartmentalize my view of the world from rap. I can't do that. Maybe you can. Maybe you're like, yeah, I got rap and this is rap. I can't do that. I can't do that. So I'm saying I can't separate the two for me. So I'm looking at it through the lens of a Christian And I think both of these guys have said terrible, awful things about each other. Terrible, awful things. There's inconsistencies to go around. It's really bad. And so maybe you guys need someone from the culture. Okay? Here. D1 says everything.
Beef, but y'all don't want bullets. Y'all want the diss records. Y'all say, yeah, rap is fun again. But when Drake's security guard gets shot, now it's like, oh, it's going too far. Y'all want to be entertained, but at what cost? That's the problem, is hip-hop culture has normalized this. And it ain't nothing but another story in the news cycle to a lot of people. The same media outlets that buck this up and egg this on, now they're going to come out and be like, well, it's gone too far. You can't micromanage beef. That's crazy if you think that. Y'all clown people who don't want to be a part of this type of stuff. Y'all say people are clout chasers who talk out against this type of behavior within the culture. We need accountability. We need to throw the whole hip-hop culture away and rebuild it from scratch and keep the aspects that's healthy about it, but do away with the toxic elements, yo.
Jeez.
All the fans who like to see this stuff, but then who want to say, well, this is disconnected. You have a spirit of delusion inside of your brain. If you think this is disconnected from all these people that this man been beefing with, and you don't think that any of that could have anything to do with this, it's like you have a spirit of delusion inside of your brain and you got to do better. If you a hip-hop media outlet and you done lived through this type of stuff before and you know what it could lead to, you got to do better, you heard me? As a culture, we got to say it's 50 years of hip-hop. It's time to throw it all away and keep what's healthy, but do away with what's bad, man. Because this is not what hip-hop should be about.
I think it's a W. Yeah, all of this is anchored on the word alleged. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Comment down below and let me know what you think. And be sure to check out this video that YouTube is recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right? I'll see you over there. Peace.